Good afternoon, Grinders. This is your NFL SimLabs analysis for Thursday, October 9th. I'm Jordan Cooper, a.k.a. BlenderHD, BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, give me those thumbs up buttons on your way in the door. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. We got a pre-lock show today later at night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for Thursday night football. It is the Eagles and the Giants. Low total, 40.5 as of right now. We got the Eagles on the road in New York with a 23.75 implied team total. Giants 16.75 implied team total. Jalen Hurts, highest projected player on the slate by a considerable amount. I guess Barkley's right behind him. Expensive, right? Hurts 11K, Barkley 11.6K. The Giants dealing without Malik Neighbors. So you got Dart at 10.2K, Scadaboo at 10K. Tyrone Tracy should be available for this game as we have him projected in. Tyrone Tracy 7K, probably a little overpriced. Assuming there's going to be some split in the backfield there, because you also got Devin Singletary there as well at 2K. So some of these running backs may not be the best of values today. And then it's got some cheap receivers for the Giants, right? Because we got Wan'Dale Robinson priced up at 7,200, but outside of him, we got Theo Johnson 5,800. Seems like there's a connection between him and Jackson Dart. He had 2 touchdowns in the last game. But then we also have Jalen Hyatt at 3,200 and Bo Collins at 3K. They're both going to come with some amount of ownership. You're going to have to find some salary relief to in order to play someone like Hurts or Barkley in the captain spot. But looking at our showdown HQ this afternoon for projections, projected ownership, optimal rates, whatever. Looks like it's pretty even construction. Stands out. I'm looking over at my other screen because this is premium content and you should be signing up for RotoGrinders for it. But optimal construction breakdown looks more it about even, a little bit more towards the favorite, right? The Eagles. But 3 favorites, 3 dogs. Highest optimal rate, then 4 favorites, 2 dogs, then 2 favorites, 4 dogs. And if you're going to go 5-1, probably go more on the Eagles side, but a little bit more bell curvy. So be more inclined to have a nice mix of players, especially when the highest optimal captain we have in our sims. And like I said, we simulate the game out 10,000 times, and then using SimLabs, we simulate the contest out 10,000 times to what the highest EV lineups exist out of the pool that we expect to see tonight, depending on your contest size, right? Large field, small field, single entry, right? I always run Showdown for these videos, do the large field because everyone wants to put in, their 10, 15, 20 bucks. Try to win as uniquely as possible at the top. I know you can't necessarily, be the sole, $500,000 or $1 million winner, but splitting it with 60 of your friends is much better than splitting it with 600 of your friends for like $800, right? So we're looking for lineups that are good, but not totally out there. Where it's unique, but it's very unlikely to win. We have as far as optimal versus ownership. The most likely to be optimal is Jalen Hurts for sure. We have his optimal rate at like 28% in the captain. He's going to be the most popular captain though, right? So you're going to run into duplication problems, especially with Hurts being 11K. So you have to spend what? It's going to be 16.5 in order to play him in the captain spot. Right after that is Barkley, and Barkley we have his optimal rate at close to 16%. Then it kind of drops from there. We got AJ Brown at about 10%. And then like Jackson Dart, Devonta Smith, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dallas Goedert is in that 5% range. As far as like a cheapie, Bo Collins at 3K, we has at 4.5% chance of being optimal. Just realize if you're going to play a 3K captain, leave money on the table in parts of your lineup because it's going to be pretty easy to play Bo Collins in the captain spot and then just play Hurts, Barkley, Jackson Dart. You you could fit in like for the highest projected plays. What's going to end up happening is Bo Collins may only be like 3-4% in the captain spot, but if there's 100,000 entries in your contest, what's 3% of 100,000? Okay, 3,000. So there'll be 3,000 lineups with Bo Collins as the captain. And how many of those lineups spend most of their salary? Probably most of them, right? So you end up, if that's the optimal lineup, you split with 600 of your friends, even though the captain spot is only 3% owned. So just understand the dynamics there. SimLabs takes some of that into account, so you don't have to necessarily worry that much about it. But I just want to give you, just some strategic advice as far as building your lineups for uniqueness than anything else. So let's run 150 lineups and let's see what shows up as of right now. This is before we boost players or lock or exclude or anything, just to get a sense, right? I'm expecting to see a lot of Hurts captain, Barkley captain lineups because they just project so much higher as a raw point projection than anyone else on the slate. So it's gonna be pretty hard to win without the highest projected players, especially in a low scoring slate, right? A low scoring game, we expect 40.5 total. So let's look at the exposures tab. Let's go to captain, right? Jalen Hurts 18% in the captain. Saquon 16.67% out of just the basic 150 lineup set. And that's what I use SimLabs for. This is the research tool. You don't have to build all of your lineups here. You don't have to build 150 lineups. Well, most of the time, I'm building 1, 2, 3 lineups. And I'm choosing. I'm saving. I'm choosing. I'm going, okay, let me try this combination. Let me try that combination. What does the rest of the lineup look like if I do this? And then I, especially on the phone, when I'm out on the go, I do it on my iPhone. I could do all of this right in the app. Right in the app. We got an app for it. And then I just pick the 3 lineups that I want to play. And there you go. Done. We also got, we do have some Bo Collins captain lineups, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dallas. It's spread out a little bit. There's enough. Little Jordan Humphrey captain. I don't know about that, but I guess that there's one of those lineups down there. Then we look at the flex. Take a look. Jalen Hurts, 18% in the captain. Flex, 73% in the flex. So that's 92% of lineups have Jalen Hurts in it, right? Not as many have Barkley, though, right? You see Barkley 30% in the flex and 16%. So 46%, right? So you're most probably going to be playing a lot of Jalen Hurts. But what do non-Jalen Hurts lineups look like? So let's say you wanted to play a non-Jalen Hurts lineup. So you could do that in SimLabs by just go Jalen Hurts in the captain, exclude, and Jalen Hurts in the flex to exclude. I'm not saying you should, if you're playing one lineup, maybe you shouldn't do this or whatever. But let's say you want to see, there are some plus EV non-Jalen Hurts lineups. We ran 150, 8% of them didn't have Hurts in either spot. So what do those lineups look like? Now we could click on, we could filter and see out of the 150. I like just running 20. Go here, let's run 20 without Jalen Hurts in it. What do these lineups look like? I'm assuming it's going to be like a Barkley captain lineup. I'm assuming Barkley captain or Jackson Dart captain, something like that. Right? A Bo Collins captain lineup, right? Okay. So here we go. First lineup over here. They don't rate out as well. But we still have plenty. This 80s, 70s, these are fine. So Saquon Barkley in the captain with AJ Brown, Jake Elliott, right? With Dart, Bellinger, and McDeman, whatever is Jude McTamanay, however you pronounce the Giants kicker's name, right? So you get this. This isn't bad, right? Barkley captain, Brown, Elliott, Dart, and kicker lineups with Daniel Bellinger. And you also have to realize the Giants may run a lot more 2 tight end sets we saw with Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger. So at 2,800, Daniel Bellinger is not like this, he'll be in for 7 plays and hopefully he scores a touchdown, on a play action 3-yard line type of thing. He'll see some actual time in the game. And then we got this Bo Collins captain lineup with 900 remaining. Bo Collins, Jackson Dart, Wan'Dale Robinson, Theo Johnson with Saquon and AJ Brown. So this is a non-Jalen Hurts lineup, leaving 900 on the table. So if you're going to play a Bo Collins captain lineup, this seems more viable than playing one that uses all their salary and plays both Hurts and Barkley in the lineup. Right? I prefer this to something that is going to end up being duplicated a ton of times. And then we got like, ooh, look, a 1-5 lineup with Barkley and the captain, and then 5 Giants. And it's pretty much the same Giants from the other lineup, just reversed. So no AJ Brown. Right, here's one with Barkley and Goddard, with Dart, Robinson, Theo Johnson, Bo Collins. So it seems like the non-Hurts lineups tend to lean more towards Giants players in the flex, and that kind of makes sense. That if Hurts doesn't make the optimal lineup, it's much more likely that it's a lot of production that has gone to Saquon Barkley. Barkley's the one sitting there with 100 rushing yards and 3 catches and 2 rushing touchdowns, rather than Jalen Hurts. And the Giants actually play a competitive game, and you get a Jackson Dart could run the ball, right? Jackson Dart can outscore Jalen Hurts in this game, especially if Saquon Barkley is the one getting the rushing yards and the touchdowns for the Eagles, right? It's absolutely viable. We have 2 guys that do rush the ball at quarterback today. Hurts is much more likely to get touchdowns, but Dart is actually much more likely to get more yards. We don't see Hurts really scrambling and design run plays as much anymore. But Jackson Dart, obviously the Eagles defense, he may be running around a bunch. He may be throwing interceptions or getting sacked or whatever, but he'll be running around a lot more. So these are what lineups look like that don't have Hurts in the captain or Hurts at all. Are there lineups? I'm interested. How about lineups that don't contain Hurts or Barkley? What do those look like? Right? They're going to project much lower, because these are the 2 guys that project by far before anyone else. But I'm curious, because this is the type of research that I do for SimLabs, right? This is what I use SimLabs for. Like, are there lineups? What are the lineups? What are they rated that don't have either of these 2 guys in the captain or the flex? And what are they rated? If they come back rated garbage, we start 60, 62, 61, 58. I guess viable, but not great. Scattaboo in the captain, Jackson Dart, Wan'Dale Robinson, kicker, Collins, AJ Brown. Where you have this like kind of weird type of lineup with Devonta Smith, AJ Brown, Jake Elliott with no Jalen Hurts, and then you have Dart, Robinson, and Collins. I don't mind this lineup that much, but you can see here the SimLab ratings are much lower. 60s are doable, right? They're not the best of lineups, but the difference in EV between a lineup that's rated by SimLabs 90 and one that's rated like 65 is not that dramatic, right? The 90 lineup is better, but by about this much. But once you start getting down and they start spitting out, 50s, 40s, like these are the ones when you see a lot of red bars. They're basically SimLabs is saying you ask for 20 lineups. I'm going to give you 20 lineups, even though these are lineups that we're going to see in the contest, but probably not profitable. But you ask for 20, I'm going to give you 20. So not many lineups that really not that many lineups that don't contain Hurts or Barkley in it. You're probably going to play at least one of them. But how about the other way? How about if we lock in, what do the lineups look like that we're going to do the first combination of Hurts in the captain and Barkley in the flex? Because now you're spending a lot of money, a lot of salary. So what do these lineups look like? So if you're going to play, it's going to be chalky, I'm assuming. But what do these lineups look like? What do the highest rated lineups look like? And they're probably good, highly rated, because look at the projections. They're much higher than the other lineups. Hurts, Barkley, Elliott, then Dart, Hyatt, Collins, 500 remaining. This is going to be duplicated a bunch. Here's Hurts, Barkley, Philly defense, Dart, Hyatt, Collins, 100 remaining. Yeah, this lineup is going to be probably duped a bunch also. But these are fine lineups. Their EV comes from they cash a lot. And when they do win, you're going to split it 84 ways, but whatever, right? But you still make money, I guess. Right, here's a 5-1. Hurts, Barkley, Goddard, Philly defense, Jake Elliott, and the Giants kicker. Right. Or here's Hurts, Barkley, Brown, defense, Philly defense, Hyatt, Collins. Like, this is a little bit lower owned. Like, I don't mind this lineup, right? You can see here the ownership is actually low, but everything else is bright green bars. Rating 89.31. I like this lineup. This is a lineup that I could play, right? No Jackson Dart in it, right? But you play this more of a Philly domination type of thing. But you still, the Giants in comeback mode, especially the cheap receivers. Like Bo Collins goes, 4 for 50, 5 for 40. I mean, getting 9-10 points for 3K is fine. And Hyatt could go 3 for, score the only touchdown, maybe 3 for 65 and 1 touchdown, right? He scores 1 long touchdown or something like that. That could happen, right? I like this lineup. 4 out of 20 right here. So these are the lineups that look like Hurts captain, Barkley in the flex. But, I mean, they are pretty chalky. And how about the opposite? Barkley in the captain and Hurts in the flex. And I'm assuming the lines aren't going to look all that different, right? Because the difference in price between the two is $600. So I'm assuming the configuration is going to look about the same, right? Barkley, Hurts, Dart, McAtmane, I can't pronounce that guy. Jude the kicker. Hey, Jude the kicker. Hyatt, Collins. I mean, it's 600 remaining. Projects, fine. 96. It's a 96 rated lineup. Probably duped a bunch. Barkley, Hurts, and then 4 Giants. I mean, that's what you'd be doing, especially with Saquon on the captain. But you get also some of these just domination lineups because you got Barkley, Hurts, Goddard, Philly defense, Jake Elliott, and then Jalen Hyatt. 1,600 remaining. See how much I like these lineups more. When I see lineups that have more than 1,000 remaining in salary, you're like the uniqueness factor of the lineup goes way up because people like spending all their money in their lineup. And the difference between Jalen Hyatt and what $4,800 more is not that dramatic of a difference of playing another kicker or playing whoever in that spot. So I don't mind leaving a ton of money. Right? What's the difference really between little Jordan Humphrey and Jalen Hyatt, possibly? Right? Little Jordan Humphrey is $200. He'll be the 4th receiver for the Giants? Who knows? Who knows what happens? Who knows what they've been game planning? He can get 1 or 2 catches. If he scores one of them as a touchdown, there you're good. You're good. $200. You're done. You could have played someone else in that spot, but now you left $1,600 on the table. I have no problem with that. Right? The ones that have 0 remaining: Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Robinson, Goddard, Jude the kicker, and Jahan Dotson. Much more likely to be duplicated than the lineups that leave 1,600 on the table that don't look all that dramatically different. So these are the lineups that have Barkley in the captain and Hurts in the flex. How about ones if we're going to play AJ Brown? Let's say what do AJ Brown captain lineups look like, just in general? Because I mean, a unique way to go is to play AJ Brown and captain and don't play Jalen Hurts in the flex, even though they are correlated. But I'm assuming most AJ Brown captain lineups have Hurts in the flex rather than Barkley in the flex. Right, you can see right here, lineup 1. Brown, Hurts, Philly defense, Jake Elliott, Jackson Dart, Bo Collins. 700 remaining. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, and 4 Giants, including the Giants defense, which is perfectly fine. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. AJ Brown, AJ Brown. Is there anything that's up here? Okay, here's here's Brown, Barkley, and Hurts. Right, all 3 of them. Right, you can do it that way. Right, here's the one with Hurts. Like all of these have Hurts in it, right? Hurts in this one, even though Barkley's in there also. Hurts. Yeah, it looks like SimLabs is pretty much saying if you're going to play AJ Brown in the captain, play Jalen Hurts in the flex. I mean, it does make sense. They're correlated, right? It's very rare AJ Brown is having rushing touchdowns or anything. Right? If AJ Brown has a game, 127 for 120 and 2 touchdowns, I mean, Jalen Hurts has a lot of those points also, right? Of course. So that it does make sense. But this is what I use SimLabs for. Right? Even if you're making 1 to 3 lineups, right? People think these tools are only, I'm not making 20 or 50 or 150. What do I need all this crap? Right? I'm just going to hand build my lineup. And, even though SimLabs may say that it's a horrible lineup, but you won't know that because we've done all the simulations, right? And this gets updated multiple times a day. And we have it for all the main slates here for football, right? Right. We got FanDuel, AnyFlex, Showdown, the main slates, right? So it's not just just Sunday and that's it. That's all you can use SimLabs for. No, you can use it for these Showdown slates, and as well as baseball. We got the playoffs going on. We got PGA obviously every week. And if you're part of the combo light package, NBA will be back in what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks. You'll be able to use it every day for NBA, every single day. So you get the combo light package. You get full access to SimLabs for the 4 major sports. You get access to our research tools like Plate IQ for baseball, Gridiron IQ for NFL, and Court IQ for NBA. And you also get all of our expert surveys and consensus value rankings, or like premium written content, all for one low price. Now, Combo Pro, you get like everything upon everything, all the sports, all the everything. You get you download the projections and for props if you want, or whatever. You get everything you possibly can think of. But if you want to start out with the combo light package, SimLabs, if on the go especially, SimLabs is very easy. That if you want to build a couple of competitive lineups for pretty much all the major sports, SimLabs is the way to go for me, at least. I give into the AI overlords. I've given in, right? I've been playing DFS for it's just coming up on 10 years. I've given in to the AI overlords. Whatever the Sims say, I do. Right? I just it's like iRobot. Whatever the robot says, I do, and it's profitable over the long run. Obviously, given slates, you're going to go up and down, whatever. But over the long run, once you give yourselves up to the AI overlords, everything goes fine. So sign up for a RotoGrinders package with SimLabs by clicking on a link in the description below. But it's free. Hitting that thumb button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to know when we go live. Tune into the pre-lock show. We have our expert analysts talking about, inactives, injuries, and the picks, the plays, the ways to construct lineups, all the expert advice, as well leading up until lock. But I'll see you next week because I'll be doing this all season for NFL. Talking about Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football for your NFL SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.